Hear ye, and welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I am your host tonight, Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy, and I am not joined by T-Roll. I am not joined by Shamato, but what I do have here is my boy Applezag, Zach Markham.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so obviously Shamato is not with us. T-Roll, he is still gallivanting around the world, doing his own thing, must be nice. But anyway, Shamato was unable to consume the content that we were about to talk about today, but my boy Zach and I, we have nothing better going on with our lives, so we were able to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. That's right, we have some Marvel content here, and we are looking forward to discussing it and just sharing our thoughts on what's going on here. So before we dive deeper and we get into that, I want to go ahead and make sure that you are following us on all of our socials at Royal Geek Pod, and on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. But also liking and subscribing our videos on YouTube. We've actually had some videos where some people, I'm not going to point fingers or say any names or anything like that, forgot to hit record. So you can probably figure out what that is, but
I pulled a Shamato, man.
Technology failed you. Technology failed you. Yeah, but anyway, all jokes aside, you can always check out our audio versions because I'm in here in control of the audio, and we're good. We're recording. How about that, Mark?
Yeah, dude, we're recording. That's awesome.
Yeah. Shamato.
Shamato must have bumped into it.
Shamato. Don't blame Shamato for your failures in life. Okay, so. All right, so we are going to dive in here to some Marvel.
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to get some Guardians of the Galaxy again because we last saw them over the summer with Thor: Love and Thunder. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was it summer or did it come out? Yeah, it was summer. No, It was November. November.
Yeah. No, it was not November.
No.
What are you talking about? It was it August?
I don't know. Anyway, Thor: Love and Thunder feels like so long ago, and we only get a very small snippet of our Guardians. And this one is 45 minutes. It's one of another Marvel Studios presentations, just like Werewolf by Night. Mm-hmm. So I enjoy the short form, 45-minute, just getting some stuff out there. I've been a fan of that.
Same.
So we see the story that's about to play out, and it's a Christmas story, and it opens up with animated Peter Quill talking to Kraglin about Christmas and what it means to him, that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
But then Yondu comes in
and just Grinches it, man.
Yeah, he pulls a Grinch. He just destroys Peter's perception of Christmas as far as what we're led to believe right then and there, right?
Yep.
He's like, Christmas? What? There's no Christmas on this. We're Ravagers. We don't give gifts. We earn what and we take and that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
And it's all in like awesome Christmas fashion animation, and it was great. And then that transitions into Nowhere. We're back on Nowhere. We've been here before, and we see we got Kraglin, we got Nebula, we got Drax, and we got Mantis just talking about Peter and how we need to do something nice for him.
Yep.
Because he's always been there for us, kind of thing, right? And he's sad because Gamora's gone.
Yeah.
And we need to bring Christmas to him. And anyway, it's a funny premise. The whole premise is Peter's missing out on Earth traditions like Christmas, and they are trying to give him that, right? They're trying to let him experience that like one more time, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because he's probably like haven't experienced that since he was a kid in that scene.
Since I believe it's 88 is when he got abducted. So that's quite a long time. So, but there have been. I want to go ahead and should we do like character breakdowns? I think we should do the character breakdowns. So, and what they do in this episode. So we're gonna probably jump around throughout the storyline, but obviously, I will leave the main two characters for last. But Nebula, let's start with Nebula. Nebula, she's one of the four on top of the balcony, just kind of talking about what's going on with Peter, and like it's good to see her again because she her attitude, her lack of care. It honestly, I find it hysterical. I really do because she's so serious, but like in a playful way.
It's very comedic. And like I feel like she actually does care, but like she's not going to show the emotions or anything.
Right. She like trains herself not to
correct.
show that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that kind of shows later on when they're handing out presents. And
yeah,
I want to go bring some now.
Like how did you get that?
Exactly. So she goes up to Rocket and she drops down a box and like she just like throws it down. You hear a clank or a thud, right? And she's like, "Here, I got this for you," like that kind of thing. Like all monotone, like angry, grumpy, right?
Yeah.
And Rocket's like, "What is it?" Right? And he opens it up. Bucky's arm.
Bucky's arm, dude.
She gave him Bucky's arm. How incredible was that when you saw that? Like I did one of those like, hold on a second, like a shock moments.
It's just I don't know, man. It's just really cool how like Marvel can take like throwaway lines from like years ago and then like bring it back and then everybody remembers it.
Yeah, it was great, man. I love that, and just Nebula's delivery on the whole exchange was pretty incredible too. So but yeah, I enjoy. She wasn't in it that much. She was only in it briefly.
She wasn't in it that much. Rocket wasn't in it that much.
Yeah, but Rocket. I did note like Rocket. We'll go there next. Rocket interacted with a new character, Cosmo, the dog. Right.
Yeah.
Cosmo was a telepathy dog, right?
Yeah.
Who had also had telekinesis, that kind of thing, right? And Cosmo appeared to be Russian, right? Space program, part of the Russian space program. And it would only make sense that Rocket, the talking raccoon, would link up with a dog who has can speak through their mind, right? That only makes sense.
Yeah.
But their interaction was pretty funny. She was levitating something to hang up for nowhere. And he's like, no, higher, to the left, and then she just finally just drops it, and then and then later on, Cosmo, I think she's gonna be a good character moving forward in Volume 3 because I know for a fact that she's gonna be in there, and she brings Kraglin like that little rat thing, and is like so excited, and then she has that scene with Rocket where she was like, "Just give me that treat thing that you're talking about, that kind of thing, right?" And but yeah, I enjoyed Cosmo and Rocket's dynamic. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of felt like Rocket and Groot in the first movie, as far as the way they played off each other.
Yeah, you could definitely see that. And then like I don't know if you got this vibe or not, but like Groot kind of seems like he's going to be like his standalone character, or like his own personality.
Yeah.
Like in the other movies, like it was him and Rocket, always a
like
thing.
Him and somebody else.
Yeah.
And I have another theory on why we kind of felt like Groot was on his own in this, and it was because they were trying to save money with CGI. That's what I think. So we see him briefly in the beginning just dancing with the opening musical number, which, how great was that, right?
Yeah,
they do this band is standing up there, and they're like, hey, we just got these earth instruments, and we were kind of practicing something for you. And they sing this parody Christmas song about what Christmas is based on what Peter Quill has talked to them about. Yeah. And at the end of the whole entire rock jam session, Peter's like, "You just picked up those instruments?" Like, that's dude. But yeah, because they were definitely rocking out. It was pretty great. I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
But yeah, you see Groot dancing in the background of that scene, and then we see Groot later on towards the end of the episode. But we never really see him like full on, except when he's at the post credit scene and when he's handing out the collages.
Yeah, the CGI did seem a little off, like in this episode. Which I mean, it's fine. You can't be perfect all the time. Yeah, but I thought it was because they couldn't get Vin Diesel away during the holiday season. Well, he was spending too much time with his family.
Family man. He did voice Groot. He did. And I find it funny that they made Groot look like Vin Diesel, like shaped like Vin Diesel, right? Like he was Alpha Groot. Like,
Alpha Groot, dude.
But yeah, so Groot, he was fun to see. He's still obviously a kid ish. He's not necessarily. He's like late teens. I feel like late teens now.
Yeah, probably around 17, 18.
Yeah, something along those. Yeah, because he still gets a Game Boy for Christmas. That was his present.
Yeah, that was sick, dude.
Yeah, classic Game Boy too. Yeah. So I love that. He'll need to plug in one of those lights, those little like book lights. You remember that? Or are you too young for that? You were Game Boy Advance, weren't you?
I had Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, this sucker over here. Anyway, yeah, Game Boy didn't have the screen didn't light up.
Yeah,
so,
I'm aware.
Yeah, so you had to get a book-like type of thing. And anyway,
yeah,
whatever.
Is that
I'm dating myself.
You guys had to put batteries in it or something like that? That's crazy.
Oh, of course, yeah, something like that. Right? Yeah. You didn't charge it. You put batteries in it.
Oh man.
But yes, so he got a Game Boy. That was great. Peter himself, I think Chris Pratt did a great job with Star-Lord. Not only like just portraying the character like he normally does, but he added a couple layers to it because he's obviously sad. He's missing Gamora.
And I feel like you could even tell that just, based off his appearance, because in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, like his facial hair is upkept, like his, his hair is a little bit better than what it was, in this series. Like in this special and everything, like he just let it go. Like his facial hair is like just gone, hair's gone. Like it is what it is, and he carries like this aura.
Yeah, he's got this weight to him. Like there's something he's dealing with something for sure, and which is why he is putting so much emphasis on this Christmas season and to try to gain back a little bit of his old self, that kind of thing. And his team can sense it. That's why they go out to all this trouble to make Christmas mean something again for him. And I feel like this leads us to Mantis and Drax, and they are the main focal point of this entire special. And they come up with the genius idea, and I say genius because those two are the least genius people of the entire crew. They come up with this idea that they're going to get him the best present ever. And what about if they got him the best person ever? He's always talking about Kevin Bacon. Let's go to Earth and get Kevin Bacon. So I did not know how this was going to go once I saw like Kevin Bacon in the trailer. It looked funny. It looked like a nice little gag, right? But I was like, oh, maybe it's just like a throwaway, like one scene type of thing. No, they went in on this, and they went in hard on it, and I enjoyed it. I really thought that Kevin Bacon and everything that he was involved in was pretty hysterical, especially like when Mantis and Drax like abduct him at his house, and the back and forth of him running down the street and them chasing him down and like get the bacon, like that kind of thing was it was pretty great, and Kevin Bacon, the fact that he was willing to do that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed really good. It was very comedic for sure. I wonder if that was like his actual house where they like filmed that and everything.
That would be interesting. Part of me wants to say no.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna say Kevin went all in. He's like,
come to my house, I'll do it. Yeah. And I wonder if that was his actual wife on the phone when he was talking to her.
Could have been, dude.
Maybe.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not? If we're gonna go ahead and deal with that, maybe that happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so not only that, but then they get him on the spaceship after they capture him and run through the town.
Was this the same spaceship in Thor Ragnarok, or not Thor Ragnarok, but Thor: Love and Thunder? It seemed different.
I think it was different.
Yeah,
I don't think
it seemed different.
I don't think we've seen it before.
It was a very unique design.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's pretty cool.
It's good to see different variants of ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know how to find Kevin Bacon. They just knew they were in Hollywood, and
that whole story in its own was hilarious.
Yeah. I love that. Especially like like when they first get to Hollywood, and it's like, why is everybody staring? Did you remember to put the cloaking device on? Of course I did. And then like he like pushed. I saw you push that. I saw you did like, yeah. Very childish, but it worked.
Yeah,
it panned out.
And maybe he just thought that they were going to fly very still.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get another nod to him being very still. That you can't see him, but we didn't. It's okay though. But then they land, and then they get like right there on Hollywood Boulevard where they are, or I think it's Rodeo Drive. Yeah, Rodeo Drive, and there's all these entertainers on the side, and everybody's like, hey, take pictures. They're all doing this. They're all getting paid, getting tips, and everyone's taking pictures with them. And I love the line where they took a picture with Drax and like, oh, I can't believe I got a picture with God of War.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. That was great. And is it foreshadow Batista playing live action Kratos? I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah, to be continued on that one. But that would be cool to see. But then they're carrying around all this money. They venture into a bar and they start drinking, and that's when things kind of go like next direction. I thought it was hysterical with Drax in the bar scene where he's like taking shots with all these dudes and just kind of letting loose, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go dance?" And Drax is like,
"No, dancing is
for the pathetic people." Gosh, dude. And how, as an individual, did that person just not be like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay away from that guy"? Instead, they found it like endearing. Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, come on, let me buy you a drink then," like that kind of thing. Yeah. Pathetic people, I think, would definitely turn me off to wanting to have any interaction with that guy at all. Yeah. But it was trust me, it was very comedic. Drax and David Bautista he delivered some of his best work as Drax in this special. Mm-hmm. And then they're like laying in the streets, like passing out, like how are we ever gonna find Kevin Bacon? And then they find the maps, the Hollywood maps. And they do a little quick montage of them going to different celebrities' houses and until they get to Kevin Bacon's house. Yeah. And obviously Kevin Bacon calls the police, runs away.
I just want to say, like, Kevin Bacon seems like a very just chill dude. Like if this is actual like a portrayal of Kevin Bacon, like you get this perfect house. Seems very nice.
Very nice. Modern.
That fireplace was like on point.
Yeah.
And he just made himself, a snack and sits down and watches, some old Christmas movies, chilling on the couch.
Yeah.
He
was by himself.
What a guy.
Yeah, waiting for his family to get home. Yeah. He wasn't out or anything like that, right? Yeah. So, but they do kidnap him. They get him on the ship, and they're talking about Mantis. This is probably my favorite scene of the whole entire thing. This Mantis and Drax are talking about his escapades, right? And like, we want to hear about how you saved an entire town with dance, and Peter Quill saved the entire galaxy with dance. And he's like, "Oh, it's just a character I played." And then they talked about another story, how you like stabbed Jason. And he's like, "Oh no, that was just like." Wait a minute, you're an actor? That's so disgusting, revolting. And then like Mantis is like dry heaving in the corner.
And then Drax is like, I hate you.
Yeah, Drax is like, I hate you completely. Like you are scum, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Mantis touches him and is like, you need to be a hero now. Like, and so, like uses her mind powers on him. And then they bring him in to Peter Quill as a present. Mm-hmm. But how about that build up? How about that build up to the present reveal where the lights start turning on? And you have this moment of
it's a very touching moment.
Yeah, very touching moment. Yeah, I agree. Peter looks very euphoric and he's like all in the feels, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I love how he starts like walking to find it. Like Groot is kind of looking at him, and then he sees that he catches his eye and he runs away all childish. That was I thought that was funny too. And but then they wheel out the box, and he starts to he's very happy at first, and then the box starts moving. And Peter's face, I love how everybody around him is in like pure joy, lights and everything, but then his face goes from happiness to like, what did the heck did they just do? That kind of thing. And then he opens the box, and it's Kevin Bacon. And Peter Quill's like, you used your mind trick on him, didn't you? Bring him back. And he's like screaming and don't run. And dude,
he ran.
He ran, and it was awesome. You got to see different perspective of Kevin Bacon. Like he was like, oh yeah, I'm pretending to be the hero, but now I'm actually my real self, and I'm terrified. And then he like books it. So it was definitely cool to see the different layers of Chris Pratt as well with the acting range that he had. I was really feeling it when he was in the feels.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's good to see him like have that moment, again. Yeah. Because it seems like he's been really going through it.
He got robbed. He had robbed from that. Obviously Gamora was taken from him, and then it's reintroduced to him, and now she wants nothing to do with him as of right now. So very interesting.
Yeah, it's not, and it's that, and then like he's got to be carrying some of the weight from that fight scene in Infinity War, where like it was because of him that they lost.
Great shout, man. Holy crap. Yeah, he made the mistake of, he lost his composure. Yeah, he lost his composure, and they suffered. The entire world suffered for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good scene, and but then we get another touching moment when Kevin Bacon and Kraglin are kind of having their conversation in the jet where they're about to fly off, and Kraglin's telling him a story about, well, we just wanted him to feel Christmas again, the feeling of Christmas, and then Kevin his wife calls and he tells him, I'll be late, I gotta help somebody about Christmas, which, by the way, that's definitely a intentional trope that they did about every Christmas movie special or whatever.
There's cliche.
Very cliche. There's that moment where they're like, we're gonna bring Christmas back, that kind of thing, right? Like extra dramatic, like that way. And so, of course, we had an awesome opening musical number. So, of course, it makes sense to end it in a musical number. And Kevin Bacon, lead guitarist and soloist, singer, right? And then he's joined by the band. And they sing a great Christmas song, which shout out to James Gunn for his song selection, right? He didn't go with the traditional Christmas songs that we hear day in and day out, especially like you and me working in the retail world. We hear the same, we hear the same freaking songs over and over and over again, especially now that it's the Christmas season, as you can see by this little small tree over here to Markham's right.
It's a pretty sick tree.
Yeah. You know, it's small. It's we call it the children's tree, and we got a bunch of superheroes and Star Wars characters and Disney stuff on there. But anyway, but yeah, so it's definitely he picked some good songs. There were different songs that we hadn't heard before. Obviously, the one in the beginning was definitely made up, but but later on throughout the entirety of the special, there were more Christmas music, and it was the ones that are not really like the mainstream Christmas music, which has been great.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we see a big giant gift exchange, which we already mentioned how Bucky's arm was fantastic, absolutely incredible.
Gold.
Yeah,
that was gold.
And then we get the reveal of Mantis and Peter having the conversation. Well, we knew it from the beginning when she was talking about the whole reason she had to do this because it was her brother, right? So she's a daughter of Ego, he is a son of Ego, and they are siblings. And so how touching of a moment was it when she was like, yeah, I'm your sister, and then he's like, well, that's the greatest present you can ever give me, that kind of thing, right? And they embrace. Once again, Peter Quill, man, he killed it this one, man. He went through a lot of different emotions, and I was impressed with Chris Pratt, man, because he's always been that funny guy. He's always been the quippy, snarky, like the remarks are up tempo, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And this one, he showed a lot of range. He really dug deep into his emotional set and made us feel something.
Yeah. I mean, it was very touching for sure. And I hope eventually we can get to the point where like he get heal and we can get that playing Chris Pratt and everything back again. And I feel like it's really cool to see that he's going through this. Because it makes him relatable, to a lot of the fans that's watching this and everything. You can't always be the funny and upbeat person,
right?
You're going to be going through. There's times in life where like you're going to go through stuff,
right?
And like that's where you have to rely on your friends and the family that you got to push you through, just like his did.
Yeah, and you mentioned relatable. Like it's hard to relate to Drax, right? Like he's kind of an unrelatable character. Nebula, you really can't relate to her. Obviously, Rocket and Groot, they're not relatable. But what you can do is you as the audience can view through Star-Lord's eyes, Peter Quill's eyes, about what he's dealing with and things that are going on. So he's really that like audience connection, which is needed for a universe focus of these misfit characters that are
space pirates.
Yes, space pirates. There you go. Which the President Exchange was enjoyable to see. I really enjoyed that. And but then let's see, it ends. They return Kevin Bacon home. Everyone hands out their presents and all that kind of stuff, right? And Drax, Mantis got Drax, the green guy, the little guy that he wanted, that he dropped. Gosh, dude, how about the police fight scene? That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. The only thing that threw me off is they did a pretty good job like portraying, like, I don't know, like I felt like Drax's powers were like portrayed in a different light. Like I didn't know he was going to be bulletproof.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty, that was pretty interesting. And then like,
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's got alien physiology and like measly Earth weapons, right? Like that's you can write that off. You can that's something.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll go there. Okay, listen, this wasn't perfect, right? There was its flaws, and if I had to have one gripe about this special, it was probably there were moments where Mantis kind of went a little too comedic, and
it was kind of odd.
Yeah, I think
like the
over the top dramatic, really.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
But she was. I enjoyed her as a character. She was good. I still liked her. But there were just certain scenes where she kind of went like a little bit over the top. Yeah. But other than that, I enjoyed the wrap up finishing of the story with Peter in the animated form, where he was telling Mantis the real version of the story, where Yondu actually like found the present that Peter wanted to give him, and it was one of his like caricatures that he has on top of his dashboard.
Yeah.
So that only leads me to believe that was the first one, and he got new ones for various Christmases after. Is what I took it as.
That'd be very touching.
Yeah.
That'd be. It
was a good send off for Yondu and Peter's relationship.
Yeah.
They brought in. Yes, Yondu doesn't always know how to communicate or show it, but he really truly did care about Peter.
Yeah, you saw that even like not only with that animated scene, but like in the movies and everything.
Oh right, of course.
That's how we got to fall in love with Yondu.
Yeah, Mary Poppins, man.
Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins.
But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed this special, and I think the next thing we need to kind of ask ourselves is we got Werewolf by Night, we got this holiday special. Do you feel like these specials moving forward, are they necessary? And like, what do you think the main purpose this will contribute to the MCU is?
I think it's a content dump.
Okay.
I feel like that's all they're going to be. It's just a content dump, and I feel like it's not going to be anything that's going to be like mainly, pointing towards what's going on with the MCU and the phases and everything. I think they're just going to be like nice little bonus content.
So for the fans, is what you're saying? Like,
just for the fans,
because it was nice to see movie production stuff with characters we've seen in the movies on a quick little 45-minute on Christmas season, right? That was nice. It was enjoyable to see Rocket again. It was enjoyable to see like the gang all back together, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just I want to enjoy these for what they are. Like Werewolf by Night was fantastic, but like where does Werewolf by Night stand in the MCU moving forward? I love seeing Guardians of the Galaxy in the holiday special.
Yeah.
But what about this is going to like move forward with Volume 3? Is this just kind of like wetting our whistle on what we're gonna get with Volume 3?
I think it's a little bit of that, and then like even with them moving forward with the bonus content, like who's to say they won't do callbacks or like go back in time and maybe bring back a character like Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans, and just for like a little short, like a little cameo here and there.
Yeah,
for
that'd
the
be
fans.
a little bit more reasonable to get somebody's time for a couple days on set filming rather than months filming a movie.
Right.
Yeah. Especially as busy as those guys are nowadays, right? So that's a good point. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think another thing is that what the special does for me is gets me hyped for Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Same.
These characters, I want to see them again.
Yeah.
Especially James Gunn is doing something, and he's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be emotional. There's gonna be some moments that are gonna make fans kind of upset. So he's kind of building it up like this may be like the last time we see certain characters, that kind of thing. So seeing them here in this brief little snippet, it's good. It kind of catapults us forward to what we're potentially going to get in Volume 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it draws you to the characters more. You can see more attached to the characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to make it harder, if one of these characters are, it's going to be, their last movie.
Yeah. So yeah, any final thoughts on the holiday special?
No, man.
I do want to point out that the opening Marvel Studios logo with like Christmas snippets from comic books, like that
was clutch.
Yeah, I did like that, and they had like the bells ringing in the background, kind of thing, right? But it was literally comic books scenes that they took place during around Christmas time. It was pretty great to see.
I did just remember, like, I did love the dialogue when Kevin Bacon was like on the ship going with Drax and Mantis.
Yeah.
And like when they were like telling him that you have to be a hero, and he was like, who, like Batman, like Bruce Wayne?
Oh yeah.
The collected DC.
Gosh, man. So
I wonder how they did that.
So first off, Eternals drops like Superman and Batman, right? So that was the first MCU thing to drop that. And then here we are. Like, honestly, I think it's like the biggest flex by Marvel. Like, as me being a personal, like, a DC fan, right? Like, Marvel is flexing so hard that Batman is just a minor detail in their universe that they built.
What would be dope is if they have to, like, pay a fine every time, like, they drop the name, and then they drop Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And, like, here's the checks.
Yeah, here's the checks. Here you go.
Yeah.
That's, like, here's you probably put, like, some ridiculous amount of dollars to use the name and that kind of stuff, and they're like, we'll pay it. We'll use it.
Freaking clutch, dude.
That was good, man. That's a good shout. I'm glad you brought that back up, man. Okay. Well, all of that being said, from the other two fellows from the World Geek Podcast, we don't care about them, but so I won't say their names again. But for Apple Zax and myself, we really do appreciate you guys out there. So please go give us a like, follow, subscribe at Royal Geek Pod, YouTube channel, all of that good stuff. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time, you peasants.